Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing episodes from season 1, 10, 11, and 12 in this video. Now, without further ado, let's get on. This is the first time I actually got a picture of this for my TV. But, first we have Rolly Brains, which is a decent episode. The only reason it's not like a 8, 9 or something is because the story of them trying to get the brains back because of an old man was kind of boring. I like Sandy helping them, but it's just kind of boring about that. But it's a decent episode all around, and I like the gag. I think it's from this episode where people keep falling because of their stuff. But everyone has really brains in this episode, actually, to be honest. Funny. Patrick, I love Patrick in this episode. It's like season 9 Patrick, where he didn't do this. He did this just for the kind of his heart for SpongeBob. Patrick's coupon is where Patrick gives a coupon to tell SpongeBob, with this coupon, and SpongeBob asks him to go to I think Goofy Goobers for his coupon. Um, and Patrick was like, "Yes, sure, SpongeBob. I'll make sure I can get your coupon there." And he didn't have any intent to do anything else with the coupon, even if how much people tried to take the coupon from him to make sure he could use the coupon, like Mr. Krabs and stuff. He ended up finally making there and having a battle with another Patrick. It's pretty cool. And for having two Patricks, season 6, maybe season 6, but 7 to 8 will not be able to do that. So 6 maybe like 40% were able to do that, but 7 to 8 probably would not be able to do that. So that's a big achievement. I really like Patrick Axe in this episode. I really like how people try to get his coupon. It's pretty cool. Well, it's actually SpongeBob's, but still, pretty cool. 8.9 out of 10. There is I didn't really like the Patrick's battle too much, but as you can see, it only made it go down by a point. And since that was like out of 3 points, since it was like the ending, I think it was fine. Did I say TV? I mean monitor. Anyways, what I mean is I took a picture on my monitor. Um, if this episode is just SpongeBob being trapped in references. There's a lot. There's a lot that does happen in here, but if you don't want to watch the episode, that's basically that's basically the half summary there. It's pretty cool though. I get it's just I don't know. There's so much stuff and references in here that it seems like it's just a reference storage area. But I'm not gonna make it go down like that bunch of points because that's only gonna make it go down like a half a point. But the rest of the 3.5 points that make it a 6 was that I didn't really like the reason why Switcher was down there that much. I wish he was down there for himself and not the Krusty Krab, because I think he was looking for something. But I guess it's alright, because it's an alright episode. Also, remember, there's lots of bad episodes that I'm probably not going to cover, but it's the same for each season. Mostly seasons 6 to 8. But that doesn't mean the season is terrible or absolute trash. Or Perfect Angel like 1 to 3, 4, 5 in the seasons that we're on now. But I like to skip the stuff and mostly just rank it, even if I didn't tell all the bad episodes that was in there. Next episode we have here is Mimic Madness. This is where SpongeBob realized that people laugh when he mimics people. So he mimics people to the point that he gets like mimicking disease, and he doesn't know who he is anymore, and he doesn't know his true personality anymore since he's been mimicking everyone else for probably days now since they're annoyed at him at like the halfway mark of the episode. This is a really good song about someone saying, "What am I? What's going on? Like, who am I?" It was really good. He was like, "Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I?" Yeah, something like that. And it's like a really good lesson about not to mimic people and not to just make your whole personality about mimicking, which is actually a really good thing to tell people nowadays. Even though this episode is kind of old now, it's still modern SpongeBob, and this is a really good lesson. I like how the characters act. They were actually genuinely worried about SpongeBob. Well, Sandy, Patrick, Mr. Krabs were Squidward, and Plankton. I don't know. Maybe half worried, but yeah, they even Mr. Krabs. He was worried sick of SpongeBob. Really good character direction. If the story is like it's all about execution, and I think they executed really well in this episode. So if you want to have an episode about mimic, how to not mimic people and what can it do to you, usually I say don't look at SpongeBob, but this is actually as long as you know how to think of that in reality, you can actually watch this episode and know what's going on with SpongeBob, because this happens in real life. So I think everyone probably knows about Creepaway Camp since it's one of the newest episodes of SpongeBob, which only came out like a few months ago, which was to honor the Camp Coral ending, which we're gonna get to soon in the 25th, uh, which we're gonna get to in the full review soon. But this episode is definitely to honor the last of voice actors for Squidward, for Rubber Man and Barnacle Boy, which editor me will put on their names at the end of the video. So if you want to skip to the last 20 seconds of the video, you can to look at their names and just pause the video and honor them. But we're not going to talk about honoring people because this is don't like Creepaway Camp was a really good episode to well, Creepaway Camp was for Camp Coral fans. This is for any type of fan. Even if you don't watch SpongeBob and you join SpongeBob here, even though you're not gonna understand it too much, you still probably honor the voice actors believe dying. It's the same for Steven Hillenburg, which I'll talk about more on May 1st. Well, this video might be out by May 1st, so who knows. Really good episode though. 9.5 out of 10. Remember the highest is 9.9, so that's a really good score. I really like how Squidward at the end was actually turned to a villain to try to kill SpongeBob and Patrick. And Mr. Krabs thought he was playing, but he wasn't and tried to stop him. Uh, I like how Miss Patrick and SpongeBob try to honor Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and they try to ask Mr. Krabs and Squidward to help. It was really cool. And actually, for my season 13 and 14 review, you will actually see these guys costumes again. Quick spoiler. Um, there's some episodes that I might not review there, so remind me if the comments are open to review that episode. So these episodes I haven't looked at in a little bit, but I do remember the ratings I have for them. So this is the ratings I had for them, and I don't feel like rating two episodes that I haven't seen yet. But when I was doing this, preparating for this, they were on my list of episodes to review. But since I didn't want to watch them again, since that for the video, I decided to just look in my notes, and those were the ratings that popped up. So here they are. It looks actually pretty cool like this. Anyways, Season 10 is kind of short, but season 11 and 12 going to have a lot of episodes for me to review, so get ready for that. Do I really need to explain myself here? First, this episode had Patrick acting like, what did I say, a douchebag? Um, Squidward was just selling black lemonade, and Patrick's like, everyone likes black lemonade. So how about I scare Squidward to the point that he can literally die because he keeps spewing out black lemonade? Y'all remember this is a season where Patrick was acting kind of good, right? Right? It's like this bad episode came out of nowhere. The only reason it has 4 points is because I like the start. But whatever. I guess after like the 3 minute mark, it just all goes downhill. But whatever. Next episode. Here we go. Next bad episode out the way. It's Squirrel Jelly. What's wrong with characters being weird, acting very off for one episode in this season, and then go back to their normal stuff from season 9 to 10? What is this? Be for real. So, Sandy, what made everything that SpongeBob and Patrick do a competition after they have like a hot dog or burger competition? After that, Sandy made everything a competition. What, Sandy? Where did this came from? I have another episode, actually a couple episodes that you're in that you're the side character of, and you're fine. But right when you turn to the main character, you're just so you were even a supporting character, and you're still fine. You can't be a main character for 11 minutes. Golly. The only thing I liked was the ending and maybe the first 51 minute of the beginning. I know I said I would be positive for most of the season, but come on! You're telling me everyone's just gonna miss these episodes? For the other seasons, for the other seasons, it'll make sense because people already have their opinions of this. But for this season, lots of people actually think this is like as good as the first 3 seasons, 4 or 5, depending on the person, and I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe, definitely 9, and maybe even 10. But 11? There's. You're telling me they're gonna act like this? Pat's gonna want to be a horse, and SpongeBob would allow it? Squidward even joined in? Mr. Krabs joined for a race? That's chaotic. Like, what? Who is the writer for this episode? Golly. Okay, we have some mediocre episodes here that I have to continue doing this since this is part of a season that everyone thinks is as good as season 4 or 5, or maybe 1 to 3. Am I the only one who thinks this is not as good as that? Maybe 4 or 5, but 1 to 3. You telling me this episode is gonna be in 1 to 3? Not even 4. Okay, uh, pretty basic plot here. It's just people thinking that SpongeBob is the cave thrones trolling SpongeBob, and everyone gets mad at him until they realize that hey, it is a cave trolling SpongeBob, and after a quick dance, they incorporate each other, and I think Cave SpongeBob goes to jail. But it's kind of boring and mid. I don't see this in season 1 to 3, because mind you, I'm not ranking this based on how good it is based on season 1 to 3, but I've I probably will rank one episode or a few of 1 to 5 out of 10, but for different reasons, not for this. High sea diving is really the last mediocre episode. On my list is probably a lot of mediocre episodes in season 4, 6, 11, but the only reason it's not like a 7, which was going to be the score, was the ending. The ending where all the trash built up is not from humans, it's from an old man that we see a bunch of times in the background. Well, maybe the voice actor, yes. I don't know. But so it kind of make it go down a couple points because instead of actually having something real, it's just that for jokes and laughs. Even though it did teach you a good lesson, but I don't know how good it really was. Next episode we have here is Doodle Dimension, where SpongeBob gets into Cindy's portal that leads them into the Doodle Dimension. They act kind of stupid in this episode for a second, and then they got back on track. Um, this episode is decent. I'm glad they did just introduce uh Frankendoodle again, Doodle Bob, but I don't know. It just seems like he was happy in that picture, but now he's not happy because whatever. I give it a 7 out of 10 for visuals, the middle, and the end. Next episode we have is Krabby Patty Creature Feature, where everyone turns into Krabby Patty zombies except for SpongeBob, and he needs to help everyone before it's too late and he turns into a zombie. I really liked how they turned to zombies. I really like how it was an experiment, like how every zombie apocalypse was like. It's pretty decent. I guess I like how SpongeBob used chum, because everyone does not like chum, even Krabby Patty zombies. And I like how SpongeBob acted here. But it's not perfect, as you can tell, since it's a 7.5. Next episode we have here is Squidnoir, where Squidward gets glared at, gets taken, and he has to look for it with his putty old pal SpongeBob on a mission. Then he finds everybody, asks them around, and when he realized that he didn't find it, he asked SpongeBob for help. When he realized it wasn't SpongeBob, he asked Bubble Bass, Good Cop Bad Cop, Mr. Crab, and then eventually Patrick. Then Patrick was like, how about we check Jellyfish Fields? Then, boom, it was Jellyfish. I really like the comedy of how they figured out it was the jellyfish, and how it turned black and white. I think this is a reference to something that I don't know what. Alright! I don't know what. So, if you wanted to tell me what it is, tell me if you think so. Next we have Plankton's Phobia, where Mr. Krabs gets scared of Plankton coming and gets a phobia of Plankton and thinks he's everywhere, kicks out everybody, until he realizes that at the end he's making a party. I really like the scenes. It reminds me of Squeaky Boots, even though Squeaky Boots I put out 6 out of 10 was most of the first episode, but don't mind that. I still like that episode. There's just other reasons why I put it 6 out of 10. That I think I said in the video. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But really good video. 9 out of video. Really good episode. 9 out of 10. Couldn't say more. And there was the only thing that kept it back was the beginning and how Mr. Krabs acted in this episode. But fear can drive you crazy. Okay, we have My Leg. A really good episode. This is actually the ones I'm gonna rank. Oh no! Dang, my leg, it finally spawned. This is one I'm gonna rank at the end with the honoring. So if you want to wait to the end to see my review, go ahead. I'm gonna start doing that now to motivate people to go into the end of the video. Yeah. Even though no one's gonna go past this point. So there's a couple video episodes that I'm not gonna rank. That's actually at the end. Mostly in season 12. There's like 3 episodes in season 12. Look at the episode we have here. We have Stuck in the Roof. I personally really like how everyone acted in this episode and the plot. The only thing I really don't like is how SpongeBob got stuck in the roof because of like he had to climb a ladder and somehow he can't go back down because he got scared. I think the ladder also broke. Comment down below what happened to make him go on the roof that seemed bad to you. But anyways, everyone here acted pretty good. I like the visuals. It's just I don't think season 6 probably, season 7 probably, season 8 probably can do that. But sometimes it'd be really hard to do that, if you get what I mean. To make a character act like not so naive or not so one-dimensional to everything. But here's one thing that I have to say. Flanderization is opinion. Is opinion. Because some people can say Brian was always like this. But some people could say Brian we're gradually like worse. Or some people could say it was a big slope down and now you're here. I personally think that Brian was kind of always like this, but he kind of changed a lot in the later seasons. So it's kind of a big slope to me. But for some people, he could say Brian was always like this. And the reason I realized this is because when I be watching SpongeBob reviews, people be saying SpongeBob was normal and always like this. And I go to another video and people say SpongeBob got bad in season 4. And then I go to another video and they said SpongeBob got bad in season 6. And I go to another video and they said after episode 1 in season 4, he turns to a whole different person. It's the same for Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, everyone. There is some things that a community can agree on, but I don't know if it might make it factual if everyone can agree on it. But who knows? And no, the movie is not the cryogenal ending for SpongeBob. Last episode we have here for season 11 is Fun Size Friends, where SpongeBob and Patrick realize they can't really spend time with each other anymore. And so they decide to make a part of themselves so they can always be with each other, so they don't annoy Squidward and stuff like that. It did lead them to not want to talk to each other forever for some odd reason, even though the little size of these guys don't talk. They just do, yeah, which is, I like how they slowly get annoyed at how SpongeBob and Patrick treat them. So, again, SpongeBob being overprotective and Patrick doesn't care about his kid slash SpongeBob at all. Sounds like when they had that clamshell in season 2 or 3. I think it was season 2, but it could be. It's most likely in season 3. But yeah, basically, SpongeBob's overprotective, which leads Patrick Clone to be mad, and and Patrick is too careless, which means SpongeBob to be hurt and stuff. So they come together, attack SpongeBob and Patrick, and they try to live by themselves. But here's the attack scene. that there's no rating at all, and I never said anything about the rating. I just said about the plots. Y'all know what to do. Go to the end of the video. It should be a timestamp in the description. So, yeah, go to the description. Alright, season 11. The next episode we have here is SpongeBob and Random Land. I'll give this episode a 7.9 out of 10. Basically, in this episode, SpongeBob and Squidward had to deliver in Random Land after they get a call from Random Land, and Mr. Krabs used his money machine slash thing. How do I not even know? Whatever, I'll remember later. To plane them back, they get into Chaos Adventure. The only reason I think this is kind of weird is uh they got him from doing a Hawaii dance. I like the joke where Mr. Krabs says, "No one knows how they get in here," or "No one ever comes out." And also, it was cool, but like pretty cool, I guess, until like this lady randomly comes and then takes her Krabby Patty, and then it's weird. There's this worm that keeps showing up, but like that always gets squished on. They turn into a turkey. Squidward falls in love. There's a bunch of doorknobs. They replace the little Suicide Squidward with a baby. It's just all over the place. This is 7.9 episode. This is something this is all over the place. It's probably something you're gonna hear a lot in this season. Oh no! An episode where it says funny. What can that mean? Ah, you're just gonna see what it's like in the end. The rating for the episode in the end. I'll tell you the plot for the episode so you don't be waiting. Alright, so the plot for this episode is set. SpongeBob has a big birthday blowout. Well, Patrick getting SpongeBob on a tour outside where they see them's horrible self, beans, and other stuff like them getting dried down and looking ugly. Everyone inside is making their own spots for SpongeBob in his house. So, yeah, I can tell you the rating later. Based on how I'm talking about this episode, you can guess. This is a very wacky episode that's all over the place. So, this is gonna be all. My titles were gonna be all over the place. So, basically, this is weird because I found an episode where Squidward like takes his stuff and like tries to get like. Okay, short story on a streaming site. This is in 13, but this is actually no. This says it was in 14. It's actually in 12. So yeah, basically in this episode, SpongeBob chases a Krabby Patty around as he goes in Patrick's dream, Mr. Krabs' dream. By the way, this picture is Mr. Krabs' dream, so just think about that for a second. This picture is Mr. Krabs' dream. He has like a nightmare, not a dream. This is the season 12 finale. It's I think it ends with it being in Squidward's dream where he's a king, and then Patrick is in there too. It's Patrick's dream is actually the most coolest. Uh, SpongeBob's dream is very, very SpongeBob. That's all I can really say about his dream. um, yeah, this is a pretty good episode. So it's like Patrick's the game, but with SpongeBob in his cards. So like Patrick, he tries to make a game to press Squidward, and Squidward's like nah, 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 nah. And then Patrick makes an actual game, that which is the payoff. They play the game, boom, boom, bam. Well, in this one, SpongeBob wants to show everyone his trick. Everyone's either busy or doing something. There's a reference to swamp buddies and stuff in here with Sandy. Trying to show Mr. Puff, Squidward first and stuff, but everything fails till he finds a rock, shows his trick, then shows Patrick his trick. So unlike Patrick's the game, where Patrick makes a game and he shows everyone, SpongeBob only gets to show 3 rocks and Patrick. But I seem like that's good enough to him to get these cool visuals. I'm not gonna ask where he gets these visuals from. We're never gonna know. Before I continue, we got to first put 10 and 11 on the ranking board and talk and list those episodes that I said that I will rank later. set, so let me just put back to normal. So S A B C D E slash U, and then if. And I was wrong. There is going to be a season that's going to reach F tier. I'm not going to say which season it is, but just to let you know, it's a season, alright. Alright, let's put the seasons down. Okay, let's do number 10 now. Okay, number 10 is A tier. Number 11 is the B tier. I said B tier. Yeah, actually. Alright. Alright, so before I'm just gonna put all the episodes up since I wanna finish this video fast, you guys. You understand me. Anyways, here you go. Mode. Gary got legs. 5 out of 10. Mid because he's in a Gary episode. Start, but definitely not okay finish. Patrick's tantrum. Definitely a 3 out of 10. I never want to see this episode again. Gary and Spot. Definitely a good episode. 7 out of 10. No, 8 out of 10. I just wish the narrator narrated except Sandy. Oh! Alright, that's enough of those 4 episodes. So, what is the last episode we're going to talk about from season 12? Is it Bubblebot's Returns? Handemon? I actually like both of those episodes. 8 out of 10. Boom, you just get an extra 2. But it's not any of those. It's Quarantine Grab, where Squidward, SpongeBob, Pearl, Mrs. Puff, Patrick gets stuck in the Krusty Krab because of a sickness. They can't leave. So, Mr. Krabs go on protective mode and thinks that everyone is sick, which leads to everyone gets trapped in the freezer and soon leading to this gruesome scene of everyone getting sick. This is an episode, I guess. Not really the episode I was expecting to do, because I didn't know it existed, but it does exist. I guess I'll give this 5 out of 10. Let's rank this season on the leaderboard. My recording sadly didn't work. I'll tell you where I put season 12 at. It's D. I was about to put it on high E, but I felt nice. It has a lot of pretty good episodes, but it has a lot of bad ones that I forgot to talk about. There is like at least like 3 or 4 good episodes, but since there's 40 episode segments and I'm not talking about 26 episodes by themselves, that's not really a big number. So, if you think this is very negative, since for a channel who puts most seasons as A, B, C, D, and C, but I did change my list. So, is not too negative as much as it used to be. Thank you for watching this video, you guys. Hopefully, I'm almost done with the season 1 finale of SpongeBob reviews. Basically, why I review SpongeBob. Here for the only season 10 episode that I wanted to review was life insurance, where SpongeBob and Patrick get life insurance, they misunderstand it and think that it means they're indestructible, but it was actually only pure luck. Then like our old SpongeBob episode, Squidward finally gets a chance to get it. Not because he wanted it, just because SpongeBob was nice. And then Squidward got cocky and had an ego because he thought he was indestructible. And when Mr. Krabs told them what life insurance actually means, it SpongeBob and Patrick tried to stop Squidward, but since life insurance makes him unstoppable slash quote unquote unstoppable, Squidward fell into lava, and then the rest is history from if you don't even know the episode. So yeah, pretty wacky episode. I like it. It's not too wacky. It feels like something that they're probably doing like season 1 if it was a little less exaggerated and the animation was season 1 animation. But this could be directed over to season 1 and nothing will feel different except for how wacky they are. Well, their faces is. So yeah, pretty good season 1 episode if it was a little less wacky. So that's something a good part for it. Next we have the checkup, where Mr. Krabs, after hearing how scary SpongeBob and Squidward gets, I mean scared. Um, even though they're just doing SpongeBob is just being exaggerated, and he's actually having fun. And Squidward just said that you telling me that I have to pee in a bottle. So yeah, Mr. Krabs gets too scared to do the checkup, so he hides. And the nurse said if he doesn't come out by the the the, the Krusty Krab will close. So it's up to SpongeBob and Squidward to do his checkup without him knowing. But this leads to them having setting traps for Mr. Krabs, like the one that on the screen. But the problem is that since they have to be unnoticed, they have to think of ways to trick him. But that always leads him to get hurt more and more until it's by the end of the episode, the climax where they have to they have to fake be so Larry has to fake being Mr. Krabs and they pass. This is an alright episode. Well, it's actually good because I give it an 8, but still there is a little problem to it, which is being that it's kind of weird at how SpongeBob was, because I don't think SpongeBob would be that dumb and naive that he thinks that warm-blooded or cold-blooded means he had to go in the freezer. So SpongeBob kind of was a little stupid in this episode, but it doesn't take away too much points. Only 1.9 points. We have Legends of Bikini Bottom, where SpongeBob has to learn to not be scared because of Patrick. The first 4/5 of it was pretty cool and really good, but like after the last fifth was kind of weird. It was supposed to be a 9 out of 10 episode, but that section just gave it a 2. But it's a pretty good episode overall. It's pretty decent. Last episode we're going to talk about for season 11 is Scavenger Pants. Reminds me like something that would be in season 2, while life insurance would be something in season 1. This would remind me of something coming from season 2, where someone tells someone to do something and they just all over the place. Even though there's lots of references to old SpongeBob, like Patrick and SpongeBob doing the movie pose, it's still pretty good. And I know Steven Hillenburg probably knows about that too, so it's not like it's, you know, basically not honoring him and using his work even though he was already there. God. Anyways, really good episode. I like it. It wasn't too wacky. It's just SpongeBob and Patrick just getting a bunch of stuff for Squidward. Squidward being surprised. The loop continues. Squidward does something too drastic, and then Squidward gets a punishment for it. Exactly what happens most likely to happen in season 2, but it's season 11. And it doesn't feel like it's copying anything, which is even better. For season 12, everything is. I'm not going to be talking for since we already did a lot of episodes for season 12, so it's only going to be like one or two. Yeah, I'm not going to be talking for it. So I'm going to change the tier list real quick, but don't ask my 14, 13s out there. I'll actually rate them later. But let's just move some stuff real quick. Eh. There. It's like a little step. Okay, it can never be a step, really. Let's see this. Yeah, it can never really be a step. It's just like one step and then a fall. Well, since it's 12, you could could do this. If you had 14, but to do the ones you want, you have to move some stuff, really. This.